everyone, I'm back after being away for a couple of weeks. I was thinking of you all, each stop, thinking about our wonderful group and that I'll be back soon, and here I am. The trip was motivated by an idea of making a circle route. My daughter is going to be in Nanaimo in the future, and we explored the idea of taking the Port Hardy boat up to Prince Rupert and then have direct access going one way to Prince George, visiting George's family. In the past, we would go to Prince George and get as far as the Hazeltons and then have to return back to Prince George and down again. We tried different routes, of course, but we've done quite a bit. So the idea that we could save some travel and see something new really appealed to me. When we were in Port Hardy the first time a couple of years ago, we recognized that you needed to make a reservation for that boat. And it seemed kind of strange, like how many people are going up north like that? And it was raining that day, so we thought, well, we'll save it for another time. We went to Prince George for a birthday party for a great nephew's third birthday. 15 family members were there. It was great fun. And then the next stop was Vanderhoof, because my intention was to visit George's family of origin from his father's side in Fort St. James. Now there's a bit of history here because 45 years ago, I was up in Vanderhoof with my first nursing job in a small rural hospital. And I saw the sights and it was pretty bare, like there was only one street unpaved, and now I saw it paved and it's a little town. But I made a pilgrimage out of that 2 days. We had a lovely little hotel, and the first morning I walked up to the hospital, retraced the steps, the bridge. It was kind of exciting for me. And up there at the top is the site of a story that I had created 45 years ago, inspired by the sign, "Welcome to Vanderhoof," with a big Canada goose on it. So the story had been such that the geese are migrating, and I intended to come up again and come down south and become almost like a migrating bird in the future. But I had to get back to university before I could do that. And the university called me sooner than I thought, so I was disappointed. But what I remembered tracing my steps was that toward the end of that summer when I was in the small hospital, I became involved with the Dominica Express newspaper. And I'd been given a camera and the chance to go to a few events and document that. And yes, this was something that appealed to me and I had to let go. Out of fun, I just went to the Dominica Express and met the publisher and explained that I was working on finalizing my story from way back when. Actually, she hired me. She would take some of my pieces of my story and put them in the newspaper if I wished. Well, it was all just so validating. And I went south of Vanderhoof and explored that area. We had 2 wonderful days, and I committed to writing my story 1 page every day then. And it is complete. I'll have to edit it, but that's what I'll be planning for the next Performing Arts Festival in a year. My own original, Cynthia-inspired, Sheila-inspired. Well, we went on to Smithers to visit George's younger brother. We helped him out, and then we had to make a decision. Do we go back or do we go to Prince Rupert? And it's quite a long distance. So we went. We had kind of misread the itinerary for the boat, but in my mind, these traveling quirks only lend itself. And that's why I say I love the idea of a circle, because things can be derailed, but you know where you're going and you're going to come home. That was my thing. I was going to come home. So we got to Prince Rupert, found out that we'd have to wait 4 days before the boat left from Prince Rupert, and it was an evening sailing. So we got a nice lodge, motel, Totem Lodge Motel, which had a kitchen. And wow, that was a real highlight of the trip, to stay in one little small town, learn everything, meet some interesting people, and actually make a friend who welcomes us back and will take us either further north the next time. I was telling one of you, that I was up north trying to connect people to Toastmasters to help invigorate the Nechako Club. So after we said goodbye to Irwin, I missed the opportunity. He was a good talker, and I tried to bring it up. And he said to me, come on, spit it out. That's how resistant I am to sort of bring up my other life when I'm in this moments with people. Anyway, he was very interested. So one day at one of our clubs, he might join just as a guest. His name is Irwin. We got to the island and we weren't in a hurry to go home. I had said by the 31st and absolutely for this meeting, that was my goal. And then I had also committed to a West Van meeting on Monday. So it all worked out, that extra trip to West Van, but I was able to have dinner. We encouraged our daughter and her husband to come, so that was lovely. And the meeting in West Van, an anniversary meeting for the West Van Club, 70 years, was in person and so heartwarming. Because I had met these people online, but to actually see them in person, it was wonderful. So that ended our trip, and I feel rested, maybe a little late today because my time is adjusting, but I'm so happy to be back with you all and share my story. And really, what we have going on here feels like home to me. Thank you.